Greetings, beloved brothers and sisters. I wish to speak with you this morning about worry and anxiety. Both have to do with the gap between the present moment and the future. Much the same as depression has to do with the gap between the present and the past. Worry, in a certain sense, is like a superstition. There's a belief underneath of worry that's often not examined. There's an old story about two people having lunch, and one person looks over and his friend keeps tapping himself on the top of the head. And the other friend says, "Why do you keep doing that?" And he says, "Well, it keeps bears away." And his friend said, "That's ridiculous. Why do you think that works?" He says, "Well, you don't see any bears, do you?" So there's a belief that if you continue to do something, it somehow brings about a result. It may or may not be true. When you worry, there's a superstitious belief that by thinking and anticipating the future, you could possibly keep bad things from happening. You could anticipate what was coming. You could be smarter. You could be safe. All by thinking. And perhaps by imagining the worst. If it doesn't happen, then somehow the worrying allowed you to avoid the pain that you were worried about. None of this is true. And yet it can become a very compelling habit. To tell yourself or another person not to worry is usually not very effective. Don't worry, don't worry. Doesn't usually work for a worrier. To tell a person that their worries are silly doesn't work either. Even to tell a person, just stay in the present, be here now, doesn't work for a worrier. What really works are two things. One is a loss of interest in that superstition. The recognition that worry doesn't feel good. And your desire is to feel good and to feel peace. So you could actually lose interest in that problem-solving worrying that you're engaged in by finding it not appealing anymore and having less and less faith that your worrying does any good. The second thing has to do with a fascination with the present. There is something compelling about the recognition that you're actually being taken care of moment to moment to moment, and that you can rest in that. Very often when you worry, By the time the thing that you're worried about gets here, you realize you didn't need to worry at all. That not only did your worries not come about, but there was actually a grace involved. And what's happened is you've missed the ride. There is a ride that you can go on, a wonderful, wonderful ride right in the moment where you get to witness how taken care of you are, how everything is perfect. And you get to be in wonder at how marvelous it is to let someone else drive this train. And you get to look around and enjoy the ride. When that happens, it's the end of worry. There's nothing to worry about. Things are being taken care of in ways that you could never fathom, that you could never account for. But you'll miss the ride entirely if you leave this moment. If you slide into the future or slide into the past, both of which are imagined, you'll miss the grace. The grace is there, but you won't experience it in your consciousness. So that is the path you're on. Can you elevate the present, not just intellectually, but experientially, to the only place to be, so that it becomes transformed into this is it, as opposed to this isn't it. For the ego, the present is unimportant. But for the soul, the present is the only thing. It's where everything is happening. Let yourself practice being present and experiencing the grace of the moment and the love that is allowing for your joy to come forth. Take a deep breath and watch how wonderfully you're being taken care of in this moment. And let the next moment take care of itself. This is worth practicing. Practice makes progress. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon.